Well, today I had intended to make it to Hamlin. And yes, that is the Hamlin from the, I don't know what to call it. English isn't my first language. From the story of the Pied Piper, the legendary story of the Pied Piper, the classic story of the Pied Piper of Hamlin. And, yeah, just on that, not many people actually know that it's actually a true story. Perhaps not that there was a Pied Piper as such that led the children away, but at one point all of the children in the town did in fact disappear. 130, I believe it was. The records of the town of Hamlin, as I understand it, begin with that particular detail. I think it says something like, it has been so many years. It did actually say the years, but I just can't remember what it is, since our children disappeared. And there are various theories about what actually happened. Some people speculate that it was an epidemic. Some people think that they were sort of led away by a cult, and then there was a landslide or something like this, or a sinkhole opened up. Some people think that there was a flood, maybe. They drowned in the river. No one really knows, but nonetheless, it's not contested, as I understand it, that these children did actually disappear. Kind of bizarre, actually, to be honest with you. Conspiracy-minded folk may know of. This is related to like the Tartaria stuff, the stuff that's related to the orphan trains and stuff like this, and the civilizational resets and all this. And many people I know, the guy Max Egan is one of them that sort of like ties this in with that. But yeah, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Point is, I was trying to get there today to Hamlin, and it was a little ambitious. It was like, I don't know, like 70 kilometers or something, and yeah, I mean, that's not a very far distance. I have a bike with me, and I tried to ride it for some of it, like in order to actually accomplish that, because if I was trying to walk, then it's not possible to do that in a day. I mean, it is, but it's like, it's punitive, right? I'm a masochist, but I'm not that much of a masochist. Because I'm already walking every day anyway, and, yeah, whatever. So I tried, I pushed it, and I don't know. Yesterday I kind of hit a bit of a wall. You would have heard from the recording. I didn't actually eventually make a proper recording like I said I would, because I was just sort of so depleted, I guess. And then when I arrived at where I found to set up camp in the evening, it wasn't, there was no 4G, and so made me realize what an addict I am, because I didn't know what to do with myself. It's just like, okay, well, I guess I'll just eat and brush my teeth and go to sleep. I mean, I have one book with me, but I've read it before. It's Rubicon Beach, actually. I made a video about Rubicon Beach, discussing it. I don't know why I brought it with me. I left kind of impulsively, so I just grabbed a bunch of stuff. I wasn't even sure I was going to take a book with me. Usually when I go on, the last few trips I've been away on, I've taken, 2 years ago historically, like, I've been like a prolific reader, so I've taken like a bunch of different kinds of books with me, stuff I'm interested in reading. But I don't know, like a few years ago, that kind of petered out, and so I would take something with me that was sort of like I could just dip in and out of, like read passages from if I felt like inspired to do so. So 2 years ago, when I was away for a few months, I took the Bible with me. I was studying Christianity at the time, so, of course, it's sort of a compulsory reading, you might say. And then last year, I took with me a collection of the Nag Hammadi scriptures, Gnostic Gospels. So it was, like the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and then some additional stuff like the Gospel of Thomas and so on. Basically, all the apocryphal writings that are sort of Gnostic in nature that detail or relate to Jesus. Basically, that's what the book was. I think it's called the Gnostic Gospels. It's by what's his name? Something Mayer. I don't know. He's like a big guy in terms of doing like translations of these scripts. But yeah, anyway, I wasn't interested in reading. I mean, maybe I'll look at that book at some point, but maybe I also I have a Kindle app on one of my phones. One of my phones, I have three phones, because I'm poor and the phones don't have very much memory, and so yeah, and like some of them, like some specific parts of them break, and so I need to buy a new phone, but they're still like perfectly functional in other ways. So I obviously keep them and use them for things that they are useful for. And so I have three phones on the go at the moment. And one of them I have the Kindle app on, so I have some books downloaded onto there, so I have options. But anyway, tried to make it to Hamlin today, because I wanted to. I mean, I looked at kind of tried to, actually do some planning and try and figure out like how long it was going to take me until I got out of Germany, because I'm kind of sick of Germany, just the same way I was sick of Belgium. Like, I'm growing impatient, and so I wanted to put together a plan to see how quickly I could get to Berlin. And I guess when I get to Berlin, it will only take another day to cross the border. So on the sort of tentative schedule I figured out this morning, I thought, okay, in 3 days I can reach the town of Brunswick, and I'll book a hotel there, because that will be 1 week since the last hotel pit stop. And then it'll be another 3 days to Berlin, and then 1 more day, like I said, to get to Poland, maybe. And so that's 1 more week, whole week left in Germany. So I booked this hotel, in Brunswick, but I was gonna really have to push to get to Brunswick, and it required, that I get to Hamlin today, and then to some other town that's in between tomorrow, and then push to Brunswick on the Wednesday. And these would be like 3 big days, basically like walking all day, and then the plan was like in the last kind of like afternoon hours when the sun is a bit lower, ride the bike for 2 hours or whatever, however long it takes basically to get to the destination. Because it's been really fucking hot actually. I think it's a heat wave technically at the moment. I think it's been like 30 plus degrees every single day, and it's really hard to walk in actually, which is what's kind of, I guess, partially contributed to my impatience and my basically hitting a wall, I suppose, mentally. and realizing that if I continue on my current pace, it's going to take 3 weeks to get to Warsaw. And that really just is fucking with me. Because it just feels so... I mean, it's just... I think it's a lot to do with the fact that Germany is just so boring for me. And like, Belgium was boring as well. It's just like the countryside is just boring, like I said in the last recording. Like it all just ends up looking and feeling the same, and there's something sort of like... Well, I don't know, I've been feeling like this in the past 2 days or so in Germany. There's like this ominous feeling. I suppose it's partially related to like the Boer incident, and also, I know, like reading about... I was reading today when I realized that like I was going to be going to Hamelin, and then I thought like, oh shit, that's the Hamelin from the story of the Pied Piper, and then I of course knew already that like, yeah, that was actually happened. Like those children actually disappeared, and then I was like reading about it a little this morning, and it just, I don't know, it just filled me with this weird like ominous feeling, and I was like just looking at the landscape all day and thinking about it, and just feeling this weird feeling like what the fuck, like 130 children vanished, and there's no real solid explanation for it. Just weird, creepy. It's like a kind of like True Detective type feeling. You know, like how in that first season, and there's all these like long drone shots of the landscape, and it just fills you with this feeling of just dread, this cosmic dread, feeling of doom. Yeah, and so I was pushing today, and the heat was oppressive, and I started riding the bike way earlier than I kind of had intended to. I think I started riding the bike at maybe 5 o'clock or something, and 7 o'clock is probably a better time to ride, and it was still so fucking hot, and I was just... When I ride a bike, like, I can't ride it at just a reasonable pace, even though the reasonable pace of a bike is considerably faster than walking. I just have to go at like my maximum effort, and with the backpack on, which is, I don't know, like 15-20 kilos, and the heat, just too much, and I just work myself down to this horrible state of like heat exhaustion and just stress. And yeah, I got to a point, maybe like an hour and a half into this effort, of just feeling incredibly done with it all. And I had, I guess, like the third break of the day, which was unprecedented on this expedition so far. And I mean, it's absurd, right? Because this wasn't even meant to be what this was. Like, it was meant to be like just walking, no expectations, no goal, no whatever. But you know, I have this autistic ADHD neurology, right? Or just I don't know, some kind of neuroses, whatever you want to call it, whatever the case may be. I have this drive, like this like very fast brain, like it's always like, you know, moving along, like let's go, like nothing's ever moving fast enough. And it has to systematize things, like if we're walking, we walk 40 kilometers. If we're riding a bike, it has to be very fast, like we have to go. And I get irritated by people like blocking me, or like having to wait at traffic lights, like this, like I have to be moving. And so, yeah, and I'm getting bored of Germany. I don't know how long I've been in Germany now, maybe a week, less than a week, I don't know, but I'm already done with it. Like I just want to be in Poland. and then that will give me some novelty for a while, and I'll be done with it in a couple of days, and I want to be on to the next place. Of course, after Poland, it's all a little bit, um, yeah, it's a little bit up in the air there. I'm going to continue east from Poland. Well, like I already said, I don't know. I have tentative plans, but whatever. So I took this third break, and then kind of wanted to quit actually, but realized that it wouldn't even be easy for me to quit, like, because I'm just so in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know the public transport system at all, and flights are expensive. From any city that's nearby, I think the nearest city is Hanover, and then the next is Berlin. And fuck knows how I would get to those cities beyond just doing what I'm doing now. So yeah, I figured I would just scrap the hotel that I'd booked for Wednesday, which fortunately I was able to do. No cancellation fees before midnight today. So capitalized upon that and booked myself a hotel for tonight. I scanned the local area to see what was the most economic option that was nearby, and I found a guest house 4 kilometers away, 2 miles. And yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's pretty nice, to be honest. €50, deluxe family room, private bathroom. That's the only reason I got it. The only reason I got a family room, I mean, because I want a private bathroom. I don't like sharing bathrooms. It's annoying to have this requirement for solitude and so on, because it means you have to spend way more money on accommodation. If I was a more, I don't know, socially open, extroverted person, I could just utilize hostels and stuff and just save so much more money. But I've done that in the past. I've done my time with hostels, and yeah, I have horror stories from hostels, intense horror stories, and I'm not doing that again. I'm almost 30 now. I'm not reducing myself to sleeping in hostels anymore. Not that being 30 changes anything at all, right? There are plenty of 30-year-olds that stay in hostels, but I'm just not that calibrated in such a way. I'll just be able to, I don't know, manage or even like the experience. Sorry, this is incredibly rambly. But yeah, I'm at this guest house now, and guess it's gonna be a morale boost of sorts. It's already nice to be clean and have washed my clothes, and just being inside, not having to worry about ticks or fucking boars. Because those things are really weighing on my mind now. Like I said, fucking the hypochondria, you know. So yeah, and the fucking the sun on the tent in the morning. This morning, I woke up at 6:45 or something, and I was thinking in my head oh, it must be 10 or something, like, oh, I've had a really good sleep. And I looked at my phone and I was like, oh, fuck. It's so hot in here. There's no way I'm going to be able to continue sleeping. And I didn't sleep until 1 or something like this. So it's just, yeah, that seems to be, I'm only sleeping like 6 hours a night or something like this. And I was just ruined this morning when I got to the grocery store. I sat, because I started so early, I could afford to take a break, like 2 hour break or whatever at the grocery store, and I was just ruined. And it was so fucking hot, like immediately, like in the morning, or too hot. I hate the summer so much when it's like this in the heat waves in summer in Europe. Like it's like 25 degrees, 25, 30 degrees at like 7 in the morning, and it's like I just want to puke. It's just grim, just fucking grim. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I have this hotel room now. I have to check out annoyingly early, like 10 or something like this, but yeah, I'll probably sleep pretty decently tonight, and we'll pass through Hamlin tomorrow. Don't know, I don't know. It doesn't matter where I sleep tomorrow night. Like, if I continue at my current pace of 40 kilometers, I'll be still in, I don't know, who knows. I'll get to Berlin at some point, and then I'll cross the border into Poland, and I'll walk across Poland, and yeah. If I'm mostly walking, it's going to take 2.5, 3 weeks, probably something like that. I don't know. I'm not even really measuring how much I'm walking every day. I'm just sort of like gathering that so many hours at such and such a pace, and sort of just vaguely surveying the sat nav and all of this. Like, I can kind of surmise what I'm walking and what I'm capable of walking, and blah 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 blah. Probably had some other shit again that I wanted to say, but I just can't remember. So yeah, okay. I think that will do for now. It's probably, I don't even know how long this has been. Probably way too long. Oh no, only 22 minutes. Yeah, that seems to. It's weird, like how there's a sudden like I don't know, like my brain has this very like specific attention span of like 22, 21, 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. Stranger things have happened, I guess. Okay, bye.